Hi, crafty friends. I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and today we are continuing our 52 weeks of 2026 project. We are on layout 2 of Exploring Nature Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. I have pre-cut all of my pages, and when I finish this kit, I will let you know how much time it took me, including just talking through all of this, to create the entire kit. So let's go on ahead and follow some instructions. It says to prepare for both pages, adhere photos on 2FKLMN. I'm not ready to do the photos on KLMN for tomorrow. I will do that in tomorrow's live. But I can attach this ever so fun photo on to 2F. So let's grab my adhesive. Typically, I like using my glue dots, as you may already know, but my tiny little desk is a hot mess, and yeah, I don't see them, so we're going to run with our tape runner. It will be fine. I just prefer the glue dots. I find that it gives me a better option. And we're going to square this up a little bit, framed at the top, because as the example shows, the bottom part is going to be something else. Okay, now it says to cut arrow border sticker into 2 pieces. So let's grab our border sticker and do so. I found my glue dots. It was underneath my sticker sheet. Imagine that. It's a little late. Okay, it says cut into 2 pieces at 4 5/8. So that's this sticker. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5/8. That's 4/8, 5/8. So let's mark this off to cut. And now I know to cut there. So lift this up a wee bit, grab my snips. That right there might be one of the many reasons I inadvertently misplace things, is I just fling them around, right? Okay, so that's now all snipped up and ready to go. Let's actually put the scissors in my little caddy over there. And let's start adhering. I kind of do a rough layout based off of the picture and then slide that off to the side. It kind of gives me an idea of if I have all my pieces, I have my stickers, I've labeled them, and so on. Okay, use white willow cardstock for your base page. Adhere A, B, C, D, and E. And let's find out. Okay, so A is this little grid paper, and I've marked this when I do my cutout. So it says 2A. This goes right up to the bottom. Let's go ahead and grab our Stampin' Seal Plus tape runner and just get attaching. Just like so. Next is B. Which is this wonderful paper. And I marked it right there. And again, we're just going to add our Stampin' Seal Plus tape runner and get this nicely attached. I think I would rather darker be at the bottom. And we'll butt that up and center that on. Then C is this little strip right there. And I know based off of the cutting guide that we're actually having the lighter side be up. So, because of how narrow this is, I normally would grab my liquid glue for this because the adhesive is wider than this strip. But I am out and waiting for my next shipment. So I am just folding this in on itself. It's really easy. It's not terribly messy. It is a great option. Okay. Just like that. It's going to also butt up right against this DSP. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm just going to run that along, make sure that I have no little wobbly pockets. Just smoosh that nice and solid right up to that edge, like that. D, let's see here. D actually is a little bit eyeballed. Normally it would have a measurement like this, shows that it's 3.5 inches down, but it doesn't really show the left to right, and that's okay. I'm going to eyeball it, and I'm going to be really happy with it. I don't think I'm even going to measure the down spacing. I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball this. Okay. And it does not have to be incredibly complicated. I am making sure to keep the writing, because this is a written word piece. And although I can't read the words, I do know that it would disturb me to have it upside down, right? So I'm making sure that it's at least directionally appropriate to not distract me or my viewers when they're looking at this layout. So that gets me through D. E is this little tiny strip. And I do have, I'm out of my liquid glue, but I do have some of my fine tip glue. So I am going to do this down at the bottom. You might not be able to see me doing this, but that's okay. My camera doesn't show my entire tiny desk, and that's probably a good thing because, wow, talk about a hot mess. So I am better at butting up things and pulling it towards my body. So I turned that around, and now I am going to just slide this into place and lock that in. Just like that. And this is right up to the edge of this DSP. No gaps there. If you have the Tombow liquid glue, it will adhere nicely. If any of it squeezes out, it dries clear. Now I can put, let's see here. It says go through piece E, which we have now done. Before putting down F, it says to adhere the prepared 4 5/8 arrow border sticker over to D. So we're going to put it over here. And this is the shorter length. And we are going to eyeball this like so. Just like that. Okay. Then it says adhere prepared 2F using Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's get our bigger ones. And get a few of these going. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend, or at least the start of, since it is Friday. I love starting out my weekend, getting my crafty hat on. It's kind of like, it gives me permission to go out and have some fun if I've completed this work. So, yeah. If you have anything exciting coming up, feel free to let us know. Share it if appropriate and you want. You can actually go over to my Facebook VIP group and share photos and a short story of how you connected with your week or your weekend, as it may be. There we go. 2 more to go. 1. And there's that. So this again does not give me much in the way of a measurement. So we're going to kind of eyeball it and line it up between the grids. I kind of feel like the little slashes on this DSP gives me a nice, easy visual eyeball measurement. So there's that. Now it says attach journaling pre-cut piece to the left of side 2D and a 3x4 photo on the right using Stampin' Dimensionals to attach the photo. So we're going to mix things up over here. So we're going to set that there for a moment, and we're going to add my journaling piece first. Just like that. And we're going to kind of center that on in like that. And then on this side, I have 3 photos, and I am going to continue using our amazing flip flaps. These photos are a 3x4, and these are directional. I could go sideways, the lengthwise, or the skinny wise. I'm going to tuck it this way to open like this. So I know here's going to be my top picture. My inside flap picture. And then, oh, come on, get all the way in there. There we go. And then this picture. So I am going to attach this all at the same time. And I'm doing that because this is not matted. There's no mat on this. And I want this to be cut through my page protector. So I prefer using my glue dots. So let's go ahead and do this. It would be a little bit easier to attach this with a tape runner because then I could actually easily see where that back piece lines up without it overlapping. But as you can see, I'm just rolling it on and off like so. And then I am going to take the backing off. You can see those dots, right? That's what you would see on a page protector if I did not tuck it behind this photo. Okay, let's make sure this is all going the right direction. I am lining this up so the photos are all in a row. And then I'm going to roll this in to place. That way, it is all attached super pretty. On Sunday, I will show you how to cut this in through the page protector so that you can actually do the flip flap, okay? In the meantime, I will also get my journaling done. But now I get to, and I was supposed to do this with dimensionals, but that doesn't work as nicely with the flip flap. So I just ran with standard height images. Okay, now it says to embellish with pre-cut pieces and stickers and add the journaling. So we're just going to copy this picture. I get to start with By the Rock and the sticker. So let's start actually with this piece right here. I know that this part of adventure needs to be held up with dimensionals so it does not crease in the album. And every day is getting attached with some of my Stampin' Seal. There is part of this that has no adhesive, and that's okay. It's not going to adversely affect this at all. This is some super high-powered, great adhesive that I guarantee you is going to keep this right where you want it. Okay. I'm going to line that up. Everyday adventure. Just like that. Okay. Next, I have this little banner piece. And these are just pre-cuts. Okay. And it is going right here. Okay. So again, part of this is going to need a dimensional. And with the tips, I like having two. And the top part is getting the tape runner because I don't want it flapping around in here. So just like so. I could have attached this where it was in line here, but I don't really feel the need. Okay. Then I have this wonderful little circle piece. And that's going to overlap a little bit. I'm going to add a dimensional to this side and my tape runner to the part that's staying flat. And you just keep layering these up, okay, until you are happy with your project. Now, I did not add anything right here because I am tucking some stickers there. And I do have this really fun leaf to slide on in. So just add in some Stampin' Seal. You could use liquid glue here, and that would work really well. Just like that. Okay, so this is done. This gets a little arrowy thing. And in the sample, it goes on here. And I think I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to line this up a little bit and stick it to that flip flap to make sure this does not get stuck to the page protector. I am going to grab, oops, dropping stuff over here, grab my anti-static pouch and make a little bit of a mess and tap some of that powder onto that sticker. I have mine in a makeup powdered cosmetic container that I refill because I don't like getting it all over my hands. Hang on. And then I'm just wiping that off. And now this is not sticky at all. It is nice and smooth. And when it comes through my page protector, this will actually help indicate, hey, pull this through, folks. So that will be a really nice little indicator. Then, so I've got all of that. I have this. This says, today was, which is this sticker. And I can toss that a little higher up than the example because I want more room to write with this taking out some and that taking out some. I journal in my pages, folks. And then the last little bit is these two little stickers. And so I'm going to grab 1 and 2. And stick these on. Tuck that in just a wee bit. And you notice this isn't as far down, which tells me I really, really could have done this a little higher. But I still really like it. And there we go. Yes, I could move this over. In fact, nah, I'm going to leave it. It'll peel up if I wanted, but I could have centered that a little better. So, but I love this. I think this is super pretty. I like the visual pull. And this little addition to expand my photos by a couple. I could have made this an extra journaling page. I could, if this was a layout that I was having like bus tickets or theater tickets or a map, I could add that in. Really use your imagination, and if there's things you want to include and you don't know how, reach out. I am here to help you on this because there is not anything that you can't include really in one form or another into your layouts. Until next time, keep on crafting and find your joy. Bye.